Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to take a closer look at Trident Ltd.
Trident Ltd.
And I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Towels and bed sheets.
Bed sheets, right.
Yeah.
But they're actually involved in so much more
Oh, yeah.
yarn production,
Really a wide range of products.
paper manufacturing,
Paper manufacturing.
using wheat straw as a raw material,
Interesting.
chemicals,
Uh-huh.
and even renewable energy projects.
Wow.
Global presence supplying millions of customers.
Billions.
Trident claims to be navigating these current economic challenges smoothly, but we're going to see if their actions match their words.
Yeah, let's see.
So for this deep dive, we've got a press release fresh from Trident,
Okay.
complete with optimistic quotes from their managing director,
Right.
a detailed financial report that digs into the numbers,
It's the hard numbers.
and some thought-provoking questions posed by analysts.
Ooh, I like it.
We're aiming for that 360-degree view of the company's performance.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's start with that press release.
Right.
Trident is highlighting reduced debt,
Oh.
their commitment to renewable energy,
Ah.
showcasing their sustainable textile innovations at Heintextil,
I'm Dextil.
a big recruitment drive,
Yeah.
and they're racking up awards left and right.
It's impressive.
It all sounds pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But the question is, do these achievements translate into financial success?
The big question.
That's where the financial reports come in.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me,
Sure.
what stands out to you?
Well, what immediately stands out is this contrast between the positive tone of the press release
Mm-hmm.
and the actual numbers.
Okay.
While Trident did manage to reduce their debt,
Oh.
their Q3 FY25 total income came in at INR 1678 crore,
Okay.
with an EBITDA.
EBITDA.
That's earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization
Okay.
of INR 225 crore.
Okay.
And their PAT, or profit after tax, is only INR 78 crore.
So EBITDA and PAT. For those of us who don't speak fluent finance,
Right.
what should we be taking away from these figures?
Well, think of EBITDA as a way to measure a company's operating profitability.
Okay.
It strips away things like taxes and interest
Uh-huh.
to give you a clearer picture of the core business performance,
So it's a more accurate picture of
Right.
the actual business.
of how the business itself is doing.
Got it.
Pay-eat, as the name suggests, is the bottom line.
Okay.
The actual profit the company earned after all expenses and taxes.
Okay.
What's important here is that both of these figures show a downward trend.
Interesting.
When we compare them to the previous 2 quarters,
Uh-huh.
it might not be a huge drop,
Okay.
but it does make you wonder if their current strategy is truly sustainable.
So it makes you wonder
Yeah.
if this is all smoke and mirrors or if they're really
last.
on a path to
Right.
long-term growth.
Sustainability.
Now, that fire at their Dala facility back in June 2024, I'm wondering if that's still impacting their bottom line, even though it happened a while ago.
Right.
Have they really bounced back
That's a good question.
from that?
It's certainly a factor.
Yeah.
The financial statements show that while Trident did receive insurance payouts for the fire,
Okay.
they still had to write off INR 32 million.
32 million.
That's a significant amount.
Wow.
And it likely contributed to the dip in profits, especially for their textiles and paper segments.
Especially textiles and paper.
Yeah, those were hit the hardest.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears to something a little more positive.
Okay.
Trident's foray into renewable energy.
Yeah.
Their managing director was singing its praises in that press release, talking about a greener future.
Uh-huh.
But what does that actually look like in practice?
This is where their actions really back up their words.
Okay.
Trident is aiming to generate a whopping 60%
60%.
of the power needed for their Budni unit in Madhya Pradesh through solar and wind plants.
So they're not messing around.
No,
Yeah.
they're not. This isn't just a PR stunt.
Okay.
They're making a substantial investment in renewable energy.
Okay. That is impressive.
Yeah.
And what about those employee stock schemes they mentioned?
Right.
And there was something about restructuring their overseas subsidiaries.
Yes.
Is there anything in there that could affect someone like you listening in?
Well, the employee stock purchase scheme launched back in 2020.
Okay.
It's actually quite interesting.
Okay.
The trust linked to this scheme sold a portion of its shares this quarter,
Okay.
which directly impacts the earnings per share.
Earnings per share.
As for the overseas subsidiaries,
Yeah.
Trident Global Inc. in the U.S. and Trident Europe Limited in the U.K.,
Uh-huh.
they've been moved under the umbrella of Trident Group Enterprises in Singapore.
So they're consolidating their international operations.
Exactly.
Why would they do that?
Well, it's too early to say for sure,
Okay.
but it's definitely a move worth watching.
Okay.
This kind of restructuring could streamline their global operations, potentially leading to cost savings.
Okay.
It might even offer some tax advantages.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, let's not forget about that income tax department search that happened back in October 2023.
Right.
The financial report mentions it, but says no demands have been made yet.
Yeah.
Should investors be worried?
It's definitely a factor to consider.
Okay.
The investigation is ongoing, and we can't just brush it aside.
Right.
However, it's important to note that Trident's business operations haven't been affected.
Okay, so business as usual.
Pretty much.
For now.
At this point, it's a situation that warrants careful observation, but there's no need to jump to conclusions.
So we're starting to see a more complete picture here.
Yeah.
Trident's presenting a narrative of growth and sustainability,
Uh-huh.
but the financials reveal some complexities.
Exactly. It raises the question.
Yeah.
Is this a dip in performance just a temporary blip, or are there deeper structural issues within the company?
That's a question we'll explore further as we continue our deep dive into Trident Ltd.
Let's do it.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
More to come.
It's fascinating to see how Trident is balancing these ambitious plans with the need to address some of these challenges.
Right.
What I find really striking is the sheer scale of their operations.
Yeah.
We're talking about a company with a presence in over 90 countries.
It's massive, and they're supplying products to millions of customers worldwide. Millions of customers.
It's a reminder that even with these financial fluctuations, Trident remains a major player in the global textile and home goods market.
Yeah, it makes you wonder about the impact of the global economic climate.
Oh, absolutely.
Inflation has been hitting everyone hard,
Everyone.
and supply chains have been anything but predictable.
Right. It's tough out there for businesses.
Yeah.
These macroeconomic factors are crucial when analyzing a company like Trident.
Yeah.
Their costs for raw materials, energy, and even consumer demand
Yeah.
are all influenced by global trends that are largely outside of their control. And speaking of global trends, we can't overlook Trident's decision to restructure their overseas subsidiaries.
Right.
They're consolidating things, moving them under that Singapore entity. It's quite a significant shift.
It is. What's interesting here is the potential for this move to streamline their operations
Okay.
and potentially reduce costs in the long run.
Okay.
It's a classic example of a company adapting to the constantly evolving landscape of international business.
It also makes you think about the competitive pressures they must be facing.
For sure.
The home textile market is incredibly crowded,
Oh, it's a tough market.
with so many companies vying for a piece of the pie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Trident's focus on innovation and sustainability could be a strategic move to set themselves apart from the competition.
So you think that's what's going on?
I think so. So it's showcasing their eco-friendly collections at Heimtextil and investing heavily in renewable energy.
Right.
Those are not coincidences.
So it's a way to
Yeah.
differentiate themselves
Differentiate themselves, appeal to a certain type of consumer.
and attract investors.
Exactly.
And let's not forget that bold move to hire 3,000 new skilled employees.
Right.
That's a pretty clear signal of confidence in their future, wouldn't you say?
It certainly suggests that Trident is optimistic about their growth prospects.
Okay.
They're not just trying to ride out the storm. They're actively positioning themselves for expansion.
But of course, it's not all smooth sailing.
It never is.
That income tax department search still hangs over them, creating a cloud of uncertainty.
Yes. And it serves as a reminder that even a company as successful as Trident is not immune to scrutiny.
Right.
The outcome of that investigation could have a real impact on their financial standing and investor confidence.
So we have ambition,
Ambition.
innovation, potential risks, and a lot of moving pieces.
A lot of moving pieces.
What does all this mean for someone who might be considering investing in Trident?
Well, if you're looking at Trident as a potential investment, there are a few key things to keep an eye on.
All right, let's hear it.
First, how effectively are they managing their debt? They've made progress in reducing it,
Yeah.
but is that trend sustainable?
That's a great point. Debt management is crucial for any company,
Absolutely.
especially in these uncertain economic times.
Especially now, what else should potential investors be watching for? Second, I'd keep a close watch on the progress of their renewable energy project.
Okay.
It's a significant investment, and its success could have a major impact on their operating costs and their image as a sustainable company.
So you're saying it could?
Those cost savings from reduced reliance on fossil fuels
Right.
could be substantial, and that image boost could attract a whole new category of investors
Good.
who prioritize ESG,
ESG.
environmental, social, and governance factors.
So it's not just about being environmentally
Mhm.
responsible, it's also a savvy business move.
Absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, what's the third thing investors should be paying attention to?
The third thing I'd say is don't underestimate the potential impact of that income tax department investigation. Any significant developments there could shake investor confidence, regardless of the outcome.
Regardless of the outcome.
And yeah, it's just the uncertainty
Yeah, the uncertain.
that can really spook investors.
It's a good reminder that even with all the positive developments and ambitious plans,
Yeah,
there are still potential risks to consider.
absolutely. Investing always involves a degree of uncertainty.
This deep dive has been really eye-opening.
It has been.
We started with what seemed like a straightforward press release,
Right.
but by delving into the financial reports and considering the analysts' questions, a much more complex and nuanced picture emerged.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of why it's so important to look beyond the headlines and dig deeper into a company's financial performance.
Absolutely.
There's always more to the story than meets the eye.
And that's exactly what we aim to do with these deep dives, to equip you, our listeners, with the knowledge and insights you need to navigate the complexities of the business world.
Informed investors are empowered investors.
So keep those questions coming, and we'll keep diving deep into the world of business and finance until next time.